Yeah, right. Just can, right? Can. Our political এর কারণ মানে কি চাইছি দেবাই আছে স্কু আছে সব দেখতে আছে দেন এখানে দেওয়া যাবে মেন আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড সেট লিডার
Hello,
ঠিক
am
আছে
I audible? Hello.
বাট yes ma'am you are audible
Okay.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay, so let's wait for 5 more minutes, then we'll start. Okay.
yeah sure
Others, please mute yourself if you don't have any questions or anything. Mute yourself.
exactly sorry
Okay, so let's start. Yeah, good evening, everyone. So today is the first revision session for your NTEM. Right, I'll first tell you the weightage. Let me share my screen. Okay, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And what we going to do?
Today we'll discuss weeks 1 to 6 and we'll take up your mock questions for NTEM.
Oh.
All right. So from your weeks 1 to 6, you will have around 40 to 50%. And when to 12, the weightage will be a little higher, that is 50 to 60. So it's pretty much an even distribution only. Some of the important topics from the initial weeks, sanity of data, basic pseudocode on finding maximum, minimum, those things. Then we have list, dictionary. Under dictionary, very important concept is nested dictionary, right?
Ma'am, that is sanity of data.
Yeah, sanity of data. Like, if I give you a certain data, then which data type it belongs to, right? What kind
Oh.
of values it can take.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Then list dictionary, then you have your matrices and graph. Okay, these are some of the important ones. So today we'll be discussing weeks 1 to 6, 7 to 12 will be done tomorrow. So I thought that before I started with the questions, maybe I can discuss the insertion sort part if you want me to. So should I discuss that pseudocode once? If it is clear already for everyone, then I won't discuss it. But if even one person wants me to discuss insertion sort once, then I can take it up. Okay. So anyone who wants me to repeat insertion sort?
Yes, ma'am. Once.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, go through.
Okay. So first tell me, what is sorting? What is sorting?
Arranging in a
means-
particular order.
Correct. So sorting means either ascending order or descending order, right? Now, when we come to actual programming, okay, in sorting, this single operation of arranging data in ascending or descending order or alphabetical order, whatever you want, this can be done in a lot of different ways. Okay, but since we are not going to go through all the algorithms, obviously, there are algorithms like insertion sort, selection sort, bubble sort, quick sort, merge sort, lot of them are there. So why do we have so many algorithms in the first place to do the same thing? Because each of them have different timing complexities, okay? That is, they're all performing the same task, but they're all doing it in different speed and they all take different amounts of space. So the only algorithm we are going to discuss is insertion sorting. Okay, let's go to the pseudocode. So in this slide, before we actually see the pseudocode for insertion sort itself, we need a separate procedure first that is actually going to do the sorted list insert. Okay, what is sorted list insert? Basically, say I give you a list which is already sorted. Okay, list of numbers which is in ascending order, let's say. Now, I am giving you some number X and I'm telling you, okay, you insert this number into this list in its correct position. Like if I have this list of elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 11. Okay. Is this sorted?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, sorted, right?
Ascending order.
Now, right. So now if I tell you that X equals to 7, this element I wanted to insert in this list. What is the correct position? Where will it come? This is index 1, index 2, 3, 4, 5.
Between 9 and between 5 and 6.
So between
5 and
index
6.
5 and 6, this should come, right? So how
Yes,
are
ma'am.
you going to insert this? This is the first procedure we will learn, that is sorted list insert. That is inserting an element into an already sorted list. So I'll give you a rough idea how we do it is that we will first find out what is the exact position where this element needs to be inserted. And all of the elements that come before that position, we will move them into a new list. Okay. So we first need an empty list where we will first move all the elements from the original sorted list till we reach the position where we need to insert our new element. And then we will take that new element and insert it in the new list and then copy the rest of the original list back. So whatever the new list is, when we return that list, now it is in complete sorted order with the new element. Clear? So let's see the code now. So L is what? We have a list L which is arranged in ascending order, like that this list that I took, right? It's 1, 2, 3. Like. Then we want to insert a new element X so that the list remains sorted. So X has to be inserted in its proper position. So move the items from L to a new list till we find the place to insert X. So basically here, if I want to insert 7, till which element will I move to a new list? Till 5, right? So all these 5 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they will be moved to the new empty list. Okay, in exactly this order. Then this 7 will be inserted into the new list and whatever is left in the original list, that is 9 and 11, that will come later. So we'll copy the rest of the list cell into the new one. Now see the code. Procedure sorted list insert. This is the procedure name. What are these called in the brackets? What are these? LX.
L is the list and X is the
X is
entity which we
element.
want to.
Yeah. But what are these things called? Whatever we put in parentheses.
Parameters.
Parameters. Good. Parameters or arguments. So in this procedure, we are taking 2 things as our parameters. One is the list, that is the original list, L. And X is what? The element that we want to insert. Okay. So first thing we do is we initialize a new list, that is an empty list. Then we initialize a variable called inserted. Okay. This inserted variable first is initialized with the value false. We'll see why. Okay. Then we have a for each block. In this for each block, we are just traversing through every element in a list. Now tell me, in a list, can I randomly access elements?
No.
No, ma'am.
No.
In a dictionary we can.
In a dictionary, we can. So in a list, I have to traverse from the beginning, right? So for that only, we have this for each block. So what we will do, see, for each Z in L, that is for every element in that list L, if not inserted is true, not inserted will be true when inserted itself is false, right? Not of false is true. So that's why we initialize inserted with false. Okay. Because for the first iteration, if this doesn't work, okay, if this not inserted is not true, then we will never get to the comparison part. That's why it must start with false. So let's take that list only. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 11. Okay. And X is 7. So let's say this is our L, this is our X. Okay. Now, first iteration. So inserted is false, not inserted is true. So this whole thing is true. Hence, we can enter the if block. Now, within this, there is a nested if where I'm doing the actual comparison between elements. How will I know that what is the correct position of X? So if this list is in ascending order, we have to check whatever elements that are smaller than X. right? That is the elements that come before X. So those elements need to be copied into the new list first. So now for the first Z, what is Z in the first iteration? 1. Okay. And X is 7. So is 7 less than 1? No.
No.
So will I enter this block? No.
No.
No,
Where is
ma'am.
this block ending? Here. It is ending here. Okay. So after this is done, then we have to come to this line. Because nothing happened here. The comparison is false. So what will I do? I will just insert that into the new list. Okay. See, so the first element that we found that is less than X, that was inserted into the new list. Here, new list plus Z. Then we will go for the next iteration again. So for each Z in L, now what is Z? 2. So 2 is also now less than 7, right? So the same thing will happen and it will also be inserted in new list like this till we reach 5. Everything will be inserted into the new list because we will never be entering this if block, correct? So till 5, everything is in new list. Now, next I have 9. Okay. So when Z is 9, then this comparison becomes what? Is 7 less than 9? This is true. So I will enter this block.
Yes, ma'am, this is true.
No.
So here what we do? New list equals to new list append X. So this is the position where I can enter my element, right? So now 7 is inserted into the new list. And as soon as I enter 7 or the X element into the new list, I will change inserted to true.
Yeah.
Okay. Why I'm doing this? Why am I changing inserted to true? Because next iteration when I'll go for 11,
Not
right?
inserted is false.
Then this part will become false. That is, I won't do any more comparisons.
Yeah.
What will I do? I will just copy the rest of the elements into the new list in this line. Okay. So 9 and 11 will just be inserted into new list. So now new list has what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11. Now at the end, it will check here. Okay. Now, if there is a case where the element that I'm inserting is, say, greater than all the elements in my current list, then what will happen? Like in this list, instead of 7, if X was 12, then what will happen? Then even though not inserted, like in the beginning, inserted is false, this condition is true, everything is fine.
It will be appended at the last.
Right. So this line will never be true in that case. So I will just come, like entire list, I will copy into the new list. And then it will come to this line. If not inserted. So inserted was never set to true, right? Inserted remained false.
Yeah.
Because I never entered this if. So this condition will be true at the end. And I will append X at the end of the list. Yeah. Now one more thing, let's say in this same list, just for an example, let's say X is 0. Okay, I want to insert 0. Then what will happen? So I again start with false. So is 0 less than 1? So every time this is going to be true, right? This condition is going to be true for all of them. Because 0 is less than all the elements in the list. So first 0 will be inserted, right? Then all the elements will be inserted in this line. Clear?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all the possibilities we have checked. What can happen if the element is a middle element, if it's in the last, if it's in the beginning, all 3 possibilities. So this procedure, after it ends, we are going to return the new list that we created, that is the sorted list with the new element. Okay. So procedure sorted list insert clear for everyone? Any question?
Ma'am,
No, ma'am.
Yeah.
it is unsaid that in sorted insert list, the order should be same. Could we get a question wherein we are asked to insert an element and also to change the order, like to put the given list in
No, see,
descending order?
okay, if that is mentioned in the question itself, then you have to perform another, like then you cannot just copy the elements into the new list. Okay, then there will be one more comparison. Like before you enter the elements into the new list, you have to do one more comparison. Or what you can do is, after you insert all the elements into the new list, okay, you can just change the condition there, like X less than Z. So if you want to change it to descending order, then you check for a greater than condition. Okay. In that way, you can do the sorting. Just reverse the condition.
Okay, got it.
Okay, anything else from this one? See, this is just a part of insertion sort. Okay, this is the most important part of that procedure. So if you have any question, ask now, or I'll move on to the next one. See, so now we have this procedure which does what it. Now we know how to insert an element into an already sorted list in its correct position. Now we are going to come to actual insertion sort. So once we know how to insert, okay, how to insert in the proper position, then sorting itself is an easy process. See. Now in insertion sort procedure, there is only one argument we pass as the original list. Okay. So in this procedure, let me take the whole. Yeah.
Ma'am, this is for end term semester 1, na?
Yeah, that's fine. This is from weeks 1 to 6 I'm discussing today. Okay. So insertion sort procedure has only one argument, that is the original list, L. Inside that, now we are going to have one more empty list called sorted list. Okay. So for each Z in L, that is that list, that original list that I had, I am traversing through all the elements. Now for each of those elements, I am running this procedure that we just saw, sorted list insert. So basically what are we doing? We are taking an empty list, okay, and from the original list, we are picking every single element and inserting it in its proper position in the beginning only. Okay, so imagine that you have an empty list and you have a full list. Two lists you have. So from the full list or the original list, you are picking each element and you are inserting it into the empty list in its proper position, right? So sorted list and Z, these are the two parameters. So sorted list is initially empty, na? So let's say in my example, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 11. Okay. So this is L. Now, what is the first Z? 1. Sorted list is initially empty. Now in sorted list, I'm storing whatever this function is returning. This function returns what? The new list that it creates, where it has inserted the position, the element in its correct position. So initially list is empty, so it will, like, there is no comparison, right? The first element after it inserts, this is how sorted list will look, correct?
Yeah.
Now for the next,
Yes, ma'am.
when I go to 2, okay, then again I am calling this procedure, sorted list insert. Now sorted list is this, and Z is what? 2. So now there will be a comparison that 2 comes before 1 or after 1. So that comparison you will do in sorted list insert procedure that we saw. That X less than Z, that comparison you will do. And we will insert it in its sorted position. So 1, 2. Now this is the new sorted list. So like this, you will call this sorted list insert procedure for every element in the original list. Okay. So you can basically give it any list. The original list can be sorted, it can be not sorted, whatever you give. Okay. If it's sorted, then this is just a redundant thing. I mean, why would you want to sort a sorted list? So
No,
let's
that's
say you
what we
have,
did previously, no?
yeah, that was, see, sorted list insert procedure is what? It shows you how to insert an element into an already sorted list. Why we did that is because whenever we are calling this sorted list insert, okay, this list, the original list, it is always in sorted order. See, when I go for number 3 here, when Z is 3, then also the parameter is what? Sorted list and Z. So Z is 3 and this is sorted list. So this list is always going to be sorted, na? Because we are inserting the element using this procedure only. So every time we insert an element, the list itself will remain sorted. Okay.
Okay.
So like if my list, original list L, has 10 elements, then this sorted list insert procedure will be called 10 times. Okay. Like, see, if I have an unsorted list, which is usually what is the case, L is an unsorted list. Let's say it's like 9, 5, 7, 4, 1. Okay, this is an unsorted list. So what is the first Z? L, 9. Okay, so sorted list insert. Sorted list is initially empty. Parameter is what? Sorted list and Z. Z is 9 at this point. So first 9 will be inserted. So this is a sorted list. Any list having one element is always sorted. Right. Next element is what? 5. So now when I'm calling this sorted list insert procedure,
To compare 5 and 9.
Kushal,
We look at
Mehmet,
Domino's,
mute
Pizza
yourself.
Hut, and
मैम कैसा बढ़ना
Okay, see. So this is now my sorted list. Okay. Now next Z is what? 5. So these are the two parameters to sorted list insert now. So in this procedure, what will I do now? I will compare 5 with 9 to find its proper position in sorted list.
Yeah.
So after I insert, it will be 5 and 9. Right. Next Z is 7. So now when I pass the parameter, this is the sorted list I'm passing and Z is what? 7. So after this insertion is done, list will be 5, 7, 9. Clear? So every time we insert
Yeah,
an element, it
understood.
is coming in proper position. And at the end, you are going to return that sorted list. Understood? Insertion sort clear?
यस मैम
Yes, ma'am.
Why is it called insertion sort? Is because every time we insert an element, we insert it in its proper place. Okay. That's why the name is insertion sort. Okay.
Ma'am, what
There are-
denotes Z?
Sorry.
Ma'am, what is denote Z?
Z is the element that you're going to
Temporary
insert.
That is the
Okay.
next element.
Which element insert?
Yes, the element that you're inserting, like here in the first iteration, for each Z in L. So if this L is your list that you want to sort, what is the first Z? 9, first element. So that you
We
first
have-
insert in its proper place
We have
in
to
the new
go
list.
through all the elements in the list.
All the elements.
One by
So
one.
list L has 10 elements, you are calling this procedure 10 times. Okay. That many times you are going to compare. Now there is, see, this insertion sort name I told you, it comes because every time we insert an element, we insert it in its sorted place, its proper place. There are other procedures like selection sort, bubble sort. What do we do? Like there is a sorting where we compare adjacent elements to find the proper position of an element. Like just with your adjacent element, you will compare that 5 and 7 are, let's say they're like this in this list only. See, 7 and 4. If I wanted to compare, 4 is less than 7, so they are going to swap places. So this type of sorting algorithms are also there. Okay, but this is the most straightforward one. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the only topic that I wanted to go through once. So let's take up the mock questions now. Any topic from weeks 1 to 6 that you have any difficulty understanding? Want me to discuss again, or should we take questions?
Ma'am, if I have a doubt in the DFS question, will you be able to clear now, or you want to take it
Tomorrow
later on?
session you can do it, because tomorrow is from 7 to 12. So all the graph matrices questions you can
Okay,
ask there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Please discuss once more time of nested dictionary.
Nested dictionary.
Yes, sir.
Dictionary is not in week 1 to 6, but okay, I'll tell you what nested dictionary. It's just
Week 7 is a dictionary.
yeah, week 7 is dictionary, but okay, I'll tell you just quickly. See, nested dictionary is nothing. Dictionary is what? This is an empty dictionary, correct? It is represented by empty braces. What are the key components of a dictionary? We can do random search, right? Using what? Keys. So dictionary elements are what? Key value pairs, right? Every key is unique. Values can be duplicates. Values can be anything. So in a dictionary, a key value pair can be like this. K1 is the key, V1 is the value. Now this value, it can be in the form of a list. It can be in the form of another dictionary. Okay. So if inside a dictionary, for every key, the value is also another dictionary, then this is a nested dictionary. Okay, this is the basic concept. See, like, for example, let's say if I have a dictionary based on that scores data set. Okay. Now the keys of that dictionary, let's say this D dictionary has the key of student sequence number 1, then 2, like this. Sequence numbers are the key, sequence numbers are unique, right? Now for every student, the value is also a dictionary wherein I can have another key value pair. Let's say subject-wise marks. So subject is the key, like maths marks is X, physics marks is Y. So this is nested dictionary, right? Dictionary inside a dictionary.
Okay.
Clear? I'll take some questions also on nested dictionary, 1 or 2 questions I'll discuss. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's do the mock question. Did anyone solve the entire mock?
Oh,
Today's the last date.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Make
ma'am.
sure to submit it. One second. Visible?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, let me increase the size a little. Okay, yeah, this is good. So first question. This one is saying the following pseudocode is executed using shopping bills dataset. Everyone remembers what is shopping bills dataset? What do we have in a card? We have sequence number, customer name, shop name, whatever items they have purchased, in what quantity they have purchased, what is the cost per item, right? These are the things we have in shopping bills. So at the end of the execution, it is saying A captures the highest price of an item purchased from Big Bazaar. Okay. So choose the correct code fragment. The main line is this. A captures what? Highest price of an element that has been purchased from Big Bazaar. Yeah. Whenever you are seeing a question, okay, look for the main line. Don't get lost in all the extra information given. Main line is what? We know what A is doing. So we have to make sure that the procedure does what we want. See, this is the procedure given to us. This part is the code that we need to fill. So A is initially 0. Okay. A should have price of the item, which is the highest price item purchased from Big Bazaar shop. So first A is initialized to 0. Then there is a while loop. In this, we are checking, going through all the cards in the shopping bills dataset. While pile 1 has more cards, read the top card X in pile 1. So the first card I picked. Now, the first card X that I picked, I will check that which shop is that card from. If that card is from Big Bazaar shop, so that I'm checking in this line 4. If shop name of X card is Big Bazaar, then only I will enter this if block. Inside this, I have a temporary variable in which I'm calling a procedure called find item, and I'm passing X card, this entire card from shopping bills dataset that I just picked, as the argument or the parameter. Okay. So before I come back to the rest of the lines of this while block, let's check what does find item do. So this is the find item procedure. See, this Y is nothing but a card from that shopping bills dataset. Okay. So inside find item, we have max price variable, which is first initialized to 0. So this variable is going to do what? It is going to store the maximum price element. Correct. So
And for this question, y is equal to x.
yeah, for this question, y is equal to x. So this is the definition of the procedure, right? So we are writing in general. Whenever you're calling the procedure, you're going to pass the actual argument, that is x.
Okay.
So first, max price is a variable which I've initialized to 0. Next, there is a while block. While y dot item list has more rows. What is y dot item list? All the items that I've purchased in that card. Right?
Particular
all the unique items that I've purchased in that particular card. So we'll go through each of those items. Now something is happening here that is giving me back the correct maximum price. Now once I get back this max price, I'm not talking about what's happening here, but once this is returned, this max price, so that will be stored in which variable? In the main function? Temp. Right? Whatever we return, that is stored in whichever variable I called the procedure in, right? Here I called the procedure. So the return value will be stored in temp variable. Now we will compare if temp is greater than A. Okay, so A is initially 0. So whatever the value of temp is now, if that is greater than A, that is the price of the item that we got, that is the maximum price. If that is greater than whatever value A is currently having, then A will store that updated value. So this is your basic procedure for what? To find maximum. This is what we do. We compare two values and the greater value is stored, right? Every time the greater value is stored after the comparison. That's how we find max in a list or any data set, right? Now, this is the question. What are we doing in this part of the code? So see the option. This is the first option. Read first item Z from item list. So we are in this while loop iterating through all the items of Y card, right? So read the first item. If Z dot price, that is price of that item, is greater than equal to max price. What is max price initially? 0. So obviously it will be greater, right? An item will have some price that is greater than 0. So the first item that I pick, let's say its price is 10 rupees. So 10 is greater than 0? Yes. So max price variable's value will be now updated to 10. So max price is equal to 10. Right. Then it is saying remove Z from item list. That is, once I've checked that particular item in the list, we are going to remove so that we do not check it multiple times, right? Every item will be checked only once.
Yeah.
So every time the comparison is done, I will remove that item from the list. This is the first option. So if I do this, what max price will I get? Max price will have what?
10.
The maximum price element, or the maximum price item, correct?
The first item only.
Yes.
Price of first item.
So let's check the other options also. I'm not saying that that's correct. So second option is saying, again, you pick the item Z from item list. If max price is greater than equal to Z dot price.
Ma'am, this is wrong.
This
Option
is
C.
wrong.
So this is wrong. Why?
Yes,
Because max price is greater. Then why will I update? If max price is 10, let's say, at some point max price is 10, but the item that I'm checking now has price 5. 10 is greater than 5. So if I now update max price to 5, this will not give me the maximum price, right?
It will,
Right.
So this one is wrong.
it will give us the minimum, no?
It will give us the minimum. Now, third option is saying read the first item, again, read the item. Same thing is wrong here. One more thing that is wrong is we are not removing the item from the list.
Yeah.
Right. So that list, the item will remain. It will keep on multiple checking, Last
Ma'am,
option
sim
is what?
11, option D. This is also wrong.
So this one is doing what? What is the difference between option C and option D?
Wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah, but what is the difference? Wrong is fine. What's the difference? Is there a difference?
No, ma'am.
It is
This-
not removing the elements, unique
both
elements.
C and D are not
It-
doing that, but I think C and D are exactly
They
same.
are same.
Yeah.
Both are same,
Yeah,
ma'am.
man.
Right. Okay. So which one is
Both of
clearly
them
the
are correct?
answer?
Answer will
Option
be
A.
the A.
Option A.
Clear. So after I place this code here in this fill the code, this part, then it will return max price, which is the maximum price of the element or item that I've purchased from Big Bazaar, right? So this I am doing for every card. Every card will return some max price. Okay. And once the max price is returned, then I will come back to line 6 here and I will do this comparison. So temp is going to contain the max price from that card, and A is going to be constantly updated as soon as I
What
get
is
a
temp?
higher price. Temp is a temporary variable where we called this find item procedure.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
whatever find item is returning, that max price will be stored in temp. Okay. So
Ma'am,
temp
actually,
will
one
Yeah,
one
ask.
doubt, ma'am. Actually, if you hold view in option first, can you scroll a little bit? Yeah. So here, मतलब अगर आप ये ऑप्शन देखोगे तो इसमें सिर्फ पहला ही चेक कर रहा है ना, मतलब फर्स्ट आइटम ही चेक कर रहा है ये.
So this
What
is
about the
inside
other?
a loop, no? See, this is a while loop.
Yes.
So it is going through all the items. Read first item. Okay. Then you go there, then you are going to go through all the items eventually.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Okay. So after I return,
NDA wrong.
which option is wrong?
Option C and D wrong.
C and D wrong. See, first of all, you are going to check whether the price of the element that you have currently, if that price is greater than max price, only then you are going to update the value of max price. If the price of your, say, if max price variable currently has 10, That is the highest price of the elements that I have reached till now. Now, if I pick an element whose price is rupees 5, so this condition is doing what? Is 10 greater than equal to 5? Yes, that is true. So I have to enter this if block, and max has to be updated with the current price. That is, max price will now become 5. So is this maximum? Is this giving the highest price or the lowest price?
It will give minimum price.
It will give the minimum price.
Yeah.
So the correct thing is that you have to compare Z price with max price. And if Z price or the price of the item that you are currently looking at, if that price is greater than whatever value is stored in max price, only then you are going to update max price.
Okay, ma'am, got it.
Greater than or equal to. So two items might have the same price. Maybe two items have the same max price. In a shopping bill's data set, let's say in a card, person has purchased milk, which is rupees 50, and eggs, which is also rupees 50. And that is the highest price element. So those two are equal. So in that case, max price will remain 50, right? That's why this equal to sign is also given. So after I
Temporary
get
element
back,
from Big Bazaar. X of
X is the card. Okay.
Yeah.
And only we will call this procedure if the shop name of that card is Big Bazaar, because we are only checking for this shop, no other shop. Okay.
temporary
every time
element is
we-
equals to find item X.
So this temp variable will store the max price that is returned by this function, find item. Okay. Now, if that max price for the current card is greater than whatever is stored in A, initially A is 0. The first card of Big Bazaar that I got, let's say the max price of an item was 100 rupees. So
Yeah.
what will be the comparison here? So temp currently has 100. Right?
Yeah,
Max price
greater
is
than
100. So 100 is greater than 0. So A is updated to 100. Now next card I picked, let's say that is also from Big Bazaar, but the max price is 50. Then will I update A?
No,
Because this condition will be false.
unsatisfied.
50 is not greater than 100. But if I again pick a card which is having max price 150, then 150 is greater than 100. So I
Yeah.
will again update it. So this is basic max finding procedure.
Okay, got it.
So at the end of execution, A will store what? The maximum priced item that is purchased from Big Bazaar. Clear?
Yeah, clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
This,
ma'am.
so this question, any doubt?
No.
No, ma'am, it's clear.
Good. Let's go to next one. There are a few typos in this paper. Okay, I've seen. I'll mark it. So second question is, the following pseudocode is one second. Okay. So it is saying the following pseudocode is executed using library dataset. So what will B represent at the end of execution? And these are easy questions. See, why this type of questions are easy? Because the entire pseudocode is given to you. You don't have to guess what will be the code. That is a little bit harder than this type of questions. So all you have to do is decode the code that is given. So what's given to you? See,
A is 0 and B is 0. B is 0.
A and B are first initialized to 0.
Yes.
Next, there is a while block where I am going through all the cards in the library dataset. Library dataset is that one where we have books, who's the author, which year it was published, which language it's written, which genre it's from. These are the data present in library dataset, right? So we are going through all the cards from that dataset. So first card that we read is X. So it is saying if language of that book is English, that is the first card I picked, that is of some book. If the language that book is written in is English, then I'm going to increment A by 1.
Initially,
Okay.
A is used to A plus 1. Yeah.
Right. So A will be incremented when the book is written in English. If the book is not written in English, then you will come to the else part. Inside that, there is a nested if. So this is an elif block. Okay.
For condition.
So in this else if, this nested if, what we are asking, if X dot language is English, that is, if the language of the book is English, or the genre of the book is fiction. Now, first you tell me, will this condition ever be true?
No,
Never.
ma'am.
If
No,
this
ma'am.
It's in
condition
the
was
else
true,
statement.
if this
No, it is
condition
not
was
going to
true,
be True.
then we
Criteria
will
is
never come into the else part, no?
Else part, yeah.
yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah,
Because that is
exactly.
checked here.
Yes.
Okay. So if the book is not in English, only then I'm coming here to the else part. So when will this if return true, if the genre is fiction?
Yes.
That
Yes,
is the
ma'am.
only way.
Yes, ma'am.
Now
Yeah,
if
yeah.
now let's say I pick the book X, which is written in Hindi. Okay. And the genre is, let's say, non-fiction. So first if X dot language.
Yeah.
This is wrong now. It is
Yes.
Hindi. So A
Yeah,
will
Yes,
not be
ma'am.
incremented. So I will go to the else part. Now inside that I will again check. X dot language English. This is just to confuse you. This will never be true. You just have to check this part. Is the genre fiction? No, it is non-fiction. So if both conditions are false in an OR,
Move X to table
Yes,
2.
ma'am.
then nothing will happen. You cannot enter the if block because false or false is false.
Yes.
Right. So when will B be incremented? When the book is not in English, but of fiction genre. Right?
Yeah, right.
Yes.
So B
Yes,
will
ma'am.
only be incremented when book is in any other language other than English, but the genre is fiction.
Yeah.
So this
Yes, ma'am.
code is clear, everyone. How A and
Yes,
B are
ma'am.
incremented.
Clear.
yeah, clear.
So question is
Ma'am,
asking what will B represent? Yeah.
what happen if we replace or in
B is
end?
represent number of fictional genre books.
Okay. Like what question are you asking? Complete it.
मैम अगर और की जगह पे अगर हम लोग एंड का यूज करेंगे
Hmm.
तो फिर
Then
result
it
में
will
क्या
never
आएगा
be
मैम?
true, no?
Yeah,
Because
never be
null set. Because this first option is always false, and in and what happens? Even if one of them is false, it's always going to be false. So and अगर यहाँ पे and हुआ, then it will always be false. This if block.
Yeah.
Okay. So now check the options. We already know. See, you can only tell without checking the options. B is representing what? Set of all number of the books that are fiction,
fictional.
but not in English.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Right. Which option is that? The number of fictional books
Option
written
B.
in other than English. This one. Okay. See how easy this type of questions are. You just have to decode the pseudocode and you get 3 marks. This should hardly take you 3 to 4 minutes. Now question 3. The following pseudocode is executed on again scores table at students. Okay. So at the end of execution, A captures the number of pairs of students who have scored the same marks in all subjects. Okay. So we want A to store the number of such pairs of students who have scored same marks in all 3 subjects, physics, chemistry, math. So how many such pairs are there? How many such pair of students are there? That will be stored in A. Now again, we have to fill the correct code fragment like the first question. So let's see what the code has given us so far. A is initialized to 0. Then there is a while block where I'm going through all the cards in your scores dataset. So read the first card. Now see, basic thing here is that we are comparing 2 students, so we have to take 2 cards at a time, correct? We want pairs, so we have to take 2 cards at a time. So you take the first card, first row X in table 1. We read that card X and we move it to table 2. Now, while table 1 has more rows, okay. So why did I move it to table 2 in line 4? Any idea?
So that we can take
You have
next.
to compare all the
So that
elements
we
as
don't compare a card with itself.
Yeah.
Okay. So that there are no repetitions. So once I read a card from table 1, I'm going to move it to table 2 and then again pick a card from table 1 so that there is no chance of picking the same card twice. Okay. So while table 1 has more rows, now you pick another card Y. Read that card and move it to table 3. So now there are 3 tables. Table 1 is the original data set. Table 2 is after I read this card X, I moved it in table 2. And after I read this card Y, I moved it in table 3. Now this part is where the actual operation will happen. And after I'm done, okay, so let's see, this block ends here, this while ends here, and this outer while ends here. Okay, so after the inner while is done, it is going to move back all the cards from table 3 to table 1. Why? Anyone?
we have to compare all the elements and
Because we need to compare all the unique cards, right? So what happens? See, There are 30 cards in my data. So I picked one card first. Now how many cards are there? 29. This is my table 1 initially. Okay. So I picked one card, I read it, I moved it to table 2. This is table 2, this is table 3. So after I read one card, table 1 now has 21 cards, 29 cards. Table 2 now has one card. Correct? Now I did one more card from table 1. So table 1 now becomes 28. Table 2 is 1. Table 3 is 1. This is clear, everyone? Up to this.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Then
clear.
whatever I need to do, this code I will do. Now, this inner while will run how many times? At this point, you tell me, for every card here, this inner loop will run 29 times.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. For every card that I pick in the outer while, the inner while has to go through all the other cards. So, see, first card I picked. Now, table 1 has 28 cards left. Okay. After I complete this iteration, I have to pick one more card. So now table 1 has 27 cards left. Table 2 still has 1, table 3 has 2. Right, because I moved it to table 3 again here. So like this, I will go through all the cards, and at the end, what will happen? Table 1 will have 0 cards left. Table 2 still has 1 card left. I am saying this for the first iteration of outer while. Okay, first iteration of outer while. Table 2 still has 1 card, and table 3 has how many cards now? 29 cards, because all of them I have gone through.
Yes.
So this one card has been compared with all 29 cards. Clear? Now what will happen? This is the first iteration of outer while. Now second iteration of outer while. So if I go to the outer while and do the second iteration without doing this line 12, what will happen? Read the first row in table 1. Table 1 has no rows left. Right? So before you go to pick the next card in table 1, you have to move all these 29 cards back to table 1. Okay. But this card will remain in table 2 because this has already been checked. Here. So next time when I start for the next iteration, this is table 1, this is table 2, this is table 3. This is first iteration of outer while. This is second iteration of outer while. This is outer while. This is inner while. Okay. So after I moved all 29 cards back. So now it looks like this. T1 has 29 cards. T2 has that one card that I already checked in the last iteration. T3 is again 0. Now, again this line, see, line 3. Read the first row in table 1. Now you have cards in table 1. So you take out one card. So table 1 has now 28 cards. That card that you just picked, you read it and you move it to table 2. So table 2 now has 2 cards. Okay, now you come to the inner while, this one. Read the first row, Y in table 1. So one more card you are picking from table 1 now. So table 1 now has 27 cards, table 2 has 2 cards, table 3 has 1 card. Okay. Now what we'll do? In this inner while, you have to go through all the rest of the cards in table 1 and compare that. Right? So how many times you will do? All of these 27 cards. So total 28 times. See how the comparisons are getting less in number. First iteration, 29 comparisons we did. Second iteration, 28 comparisons will do. Till this T1 has 0 cards left and T2 has 2 and T3 has 28. So total 28 iterations. Now, in 28 comparisons, I'm sorry. Now for third iteration of outer while, what will happen? Again, after this inner while is done, going through all 28 cards, it will move it back to table 1 in this line. Right? If I move it back, now see, T1, T2, T3. So T1 now has 28 cards. T2 has 2. These 2 cards have been compared, right? So they are not moved back. T3 is again starting from 0. So again, see, outer while, line 3, read the first row in table 1. So you pick one card from table 1. Table 1 now has 27 cards. You read that card, move it to table 2. Table 2 now has 3 cards. Now you come to the inner while, read the first row in table 1. So one more card you are picking from table 1. So table 1 now has 26 cards. Table 2 has 3 cards. Table 3 has 1 card. Because you moved it to table 3 after reading. So how many comparisons now? Total? Until this T1 becomes 0 again. So T1 will become 0 and all the cards are moved to T3. So T2 has 3, T3 has 27. So 27 comparisons are done. Is this clear how this is going?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
every time,
Clear.
so every time we go to the inner while, okay, for every outer while iteration, the number of comparisons in inner while will become less and less. Okay,
Yeah.
because more cards are moved to table 2. That is, more cards are already read and compared. So this is what's happening. Now, the main thing is we have to find out how to fill this part. What is our goal? A has to capture number of pairs of students who have scored same marks in all subjects. So we have to compare the marks of all 3 subjects of 2 students, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's see what are the options. First option is saying we have another variable called B, which I am now initializing to false. Now, if x dot chemistry, see x and y are the 2 cards I'm comparing. X was picked where? Outer while. This X card will be compared with all of the other cards. Okay. So Y card I picked. So first I'm comparing between card X, card Y. I'm comparing the chemistry marks. If it is same, then B will be set to true. If maths marks are same, then also B will be true. If physics marks are same, then also B will be true. Lastly, they're saying if not B is true, then you increment A. That is, we have found a pair. Not B will be true when B is false.
Yes.
So if I find 2 such students who have scored same marks in all the subjects, then according to this code, B will remain true, right? After all the
Yes.
comparisons. So not B will become false.
Yes.
Not
It
B is
will.
false, then A will not be incremented.
Yes, ma'am.
So this code is wrong. Understood
Yes.
why wrong?
Yes, ma'am. It is wrong.
The next option, see. This one is saying B is set to true first. Now they're checking if the chemistry marks are not same. If chemistry marks are different, then B is false. If maths marks are different, then also B is false. If physics marks are different, then also B is false. So basically, this means that even if in one subject, let's say they have scored same marks in maths and physics, but in chemistry they have scored different marks, then also B will be false.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
So B becomes false. But at the end, again, they're saying if B, that is, if a person has scored different in at least even one subject, then also B becomes false and A will not be incremented. So when will B be true? When they have scored same marks in all 3 subjects, then only this B will not be updated because this condition will be false.
Yeah.
Right? So that means that if 2 students have scored exact same marks in all 3 subjects, then only B remains true. And then if B will be true, because B's value is true, then only I will increment A. That is, I have found one such pair. So is this code correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, correct. Still, let's go through the other option. Okay. The option C is saying now, till now we were checking with true and false. Now they have brought 0, 1. Okay. So B is initially 0. Now it is saying it's checking if x dot chemistry and y dot chemistry. If chemistry marks are equal, then increment B by 1. If maths marks are equal, increment B by 1. Physics marks are equal, increment B by 1. So every time we find a pair of marks that is equal, you are going to increment the value of B. So in this way, if this is the case, then according to our problem, B's value should be 3. Only then we can say that we found one such pair, right? B needs to increment all 3 times because all 3 of these conditions should be true then. Only then B's value is 3, only then I will increment A. But what are they checking here? If B is greater than 1, then only they're incrementing A. So greater than 1 can be anything. It can be 2 also. So if I have 2 cards, 2 students who have scored same marks in chemistry and math. Okay. So B is increment twice. B has become 2. But they have scored different marks in physics. So this increment did not happen. But B is 2. So 2 is greater than 1. And they're incrementing A. That is, they are saying we have found such pairs. But this is false, right?
Yes, ma'am.
If you want this code to work, then this condition should be changed to B equals to 3.
Yes,
Or you
ma'am.
can even say B greater than 2.
Greater than 2.
Yes.
Okay. So this code is also wrong. Last option is saying what? B is 0. Again, same thing they have done. Exact same thing. Except here the condition is now changed to b equals to 1. This is definitely wrong, you can say, because when will b be
one
what?
of them is equals to 1.
So
Even
this
if one of
a,
them is same, it will give it.
see, this a will represent what? This a will represent pair of students who have scored same marks in only one subject. In only one subject.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Not greater than 1. So this code is also wrong. So which
Ma'am,
one
it
was
could
the
be
correct?
option C, no, ma'am. Can you please explain option C?
See,
B is
option
greater
C
than.
is saying b is greater
It
than
could
1.
be, but
So if b
greater
is
than
2, if b is 2, that is also greater than 1, right? So when
Yes,
will
ma'am.
b become true? If two students have scored same marks in two subjects, but different marks in one subject,
Okay.
then b will be 2. But we want to find pairs of students who have scored same marks in all subjects.
Same.
Okay. So if b is 2, then it will increment a. This is wrong. This will take even those students into account who have scored same marks in two subjects but different in one. Okay, this is taking a larger set. So it will include those students who have scored same marks in all three, but it will also include those students who have scored same marks in just two subjects.
Okay.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I have a doubt. What, ma'am? B is not assigned again to be 0, so it will still remain incrementing, or
This code is
after.
placed where? This is the main code. Okay.
Yeah.
Here it is going to be placed.
And what I am saying, after iteration, it will be
It will
0,
again
or
set b to 0 because b is becoming 0. If we start writing the code from here, so b is first set to 0, then all the lines of code come. Every
yes,
time
ma'am.
you do an iteration, b will be set to 0. Okay.
Okay.
Ma'am, please
Yeah.
explain option B also.
B, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the correct option. See why? First b is set to true. Okay, so for every iteration, b will first be true. Then we will check if the students have scored different marks. Okay, we are not checking if they have scored same marks. We are saying if they have scored different marks in even one subject, then b will be set to false. Let's say some pair of students X and Y, they have scored different marks in physics, but same marks in chemistry and math. So first comparison is checking their chemistry marks. So chemistry marks are same for both. So B will remain true. This will not happen. B false will not be set to false. Right. Again, next, maths marks are compared. If they have scored same marks in maths, then also this condition is wrong. So B will not be set to false. Till now, B is true. But they have scored different physics marks, I'm saying. So this condition becomes true and B will be set to false. And when B is false, then A will not be incremented. When will A be incremented? When B is true. And when will B be true?
Okay.
When all of these conditions are wrong.
Yeah.
Understood?
Anyone may have options, chemistry or physics or mathematics marks are different, then it will give us.
Even if one pair of marks is different in any subject, then B will be set to false. B remains true only if all marks are equal. Okay. So this question, any doubt? Anyone?
No, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So this thing, just be a little acquainted with this. Okay, how this happens when we are picking two cards from the same data set and comparing. So how this works, like when we move it to table 2, table 3, just draw like this if you get confused. Now next question is this one. Is for 5 marks. What's the marks of this one? This is 4 marks. Okay, good question for 4 marks. So 5 marks is?
I have a doubt in question 4.
This is question 4, no?
Yeah. When does a procedure stop calling? Like, does it stop after the first iteration or does it keep on calling? Because here it is not mentioned any while condition here.
See, end gets special. So this procedure, actually this is just a procedure given to you. It is not given where this procedure is being called. Okay,
Yes.
wait, let me check the option. Yeah, okay. So when will this procedure stop calling? Okay, I will explain this. Let me just solve the entire question. I'll tell you, okay, when it will stop. See, First, this procedure is called get special L. So L is what? Let's read the statement. Get special is a procedure that accepts a non-empty list of distinct integers L as parameter. So L is a list having distinct integers, no repetitions, and returns a pair of two integers. So this procedure accepts a list of distinct integers and gives back a pair of integers, or a list containing just two integers, where the first element of the pair is the minimum element in list L, and the second element of the pair is the maximum element in list L. So basically, if I am giving you a list of elements, you have to find the minimum and the maximum and return that back to me. And the first element should be minimum, second element should be maximum. So best way to solve this type of question is, let's take an example. So let's say I have a list. 1 second now.
Suppose we have 5 numbers, then it will return the value which is the minimum number and maximum number.
Just a second.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, let's solve this. So let me give you a list, any random list, let's say 21, 77, 14, 2, 96, 34. Okay. So according to this question, this get special, after I pass this list as parameter, what should it return to me? It should return a list having first as the minimum element 2 and second should be the maximum element 96. This is what I should get back, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's see how this works. So first procedure is doing what? Minimum is set to first L and maximum is set to last of L. So let's do this first call of the procedure. Okay, this is the first call. This is actually a recursive procedure. Okay, there is a function that is calling itself. We'll see where that happens. See, first is minimum is what? First of this list. That means 21. What is maximum? Last. In this case, 34. This is this line, right? Then we will do this comparison. Is the first of L greater than the last of L? That is 21 greater than 34?
No.
No. So this if block we are not entering. So come to this if. Is the length of the list 2? No. What is the length of the list? 6. 6 elements, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So again, this I will not enter. Come to this line. L is now set to init of rest of L. So what is my new L? First do rest of L. Rest of L will
77 to 96.
right. So if I do init of
Yeah.
rest, that means it will see init of rest or rest of init, that will just remove the first element and the last element. Right. So now my current list is 77, 14, 2, 96, 34. I'm sorry, not 34. Up to 96.
Ma'am, rest of L will be, ma'am, 34 will also be.
Wait, let me see what. So rest of L means 77 to 34, right? And then if I do init of that, then 34 will be deleted, right?
Init, okay.
So rest of init. So first you do a rest of L, then you do a init on that. Yeah.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
So it will stay till 96. Next, check this condition. If first of L is less than min. So what is my minimum at this point? 21 was stored, right? Here I did in line 2. So now check this, make this comparison. Is 21, I'm sorry, first of L is what? 77 now. So is 77 less than 21?
No.
So wrong. So this is block we will not enter. Now again, next if condition is first of L is greater than max. So is 77 greater than 34?
Yes.
Yes. So now max will be updated. So max becomes what? 77.
77.
So after this iteration, at this point, line 8, what is the value of max and min? Minimum is still 21. Maximum has been updated to 77. Okay, now this is the code that we need to fill. So if you want to go by options, okay, let's take the first option. So according to the first option, I should call the get special procedure and run this as the parameter. So if I do this, then I am calling the get special inside itself. This is a recursive call. Okay, recursive call means calling a procedure within itself. So now get special. Tell me what is minimum.
21.
21.
First 21. Then append rest of L. What is rest of L?
Rest of
Just take 77 out. These three
14,
elements.
2 and 96.
14 to 196.
So 14, then 2, then 96, and then lastly max. That is 77. So now this on this list, I will again run the get special procedure. So this is my new list. Okay. So let's run the procedure again from the beginning. So now minimum is what?
21.
First of L. So minimum remains 21. What is maximum last of L? That also
77.
remains 77.
77.
Correct. Is first of L greater than last of L? No. Is length of L 2? No.
No.
Now again change L to init of rest of L. That means first element, last element gone. So what is L? 14 to
2
96.
and 96.
Now first of L is less than minimum. Is 14 less than 21? Yes. So minimum is now set to what? 14. Next check, is first of L greater than maximum? Is 14 greater than 77? No. So maximum remains 77. Clear? Now again, another recursive call. So this recursive call, now if I call it, get special. Tell me what is the argument list? First minimum. Minimum is 14. What is rest of L?
Ma'am,
Take out 14.
296.
2 and 96. So 2 and 96, what is maximum? 77. So this is the list. Again, I will run the same procedure on this list. Now minimum is what? First of L, 14.
14.
Maximum is what? Last of L, 77.
77.
Is 14 greater than 77? No.
No.
Length of list is also not 2. So again come to
Yes.
line 12. So list now becomes what? Again remove first and last element. So list is now 2 and 96.
2 and 96.
So what is first of L now? 2. So is that less than 14?
Yes.
Yes,
2 is
ma'am.
less than 14. So minimum is updated to what? 2. What is first of L? 2. Is it greater than max? Max is 77. 2 is not
No.
greater than 77. So max will remain 77. Again, you call the same procedure here. Now what is the parameter?
2, 96.
Minimum 2. What is rest of L? Just 96.
96.
And what is max?
77.
77.
Yes.
Again, do the same thing. What is minimum?
2.
What is maximum?
77.
77. Is 2, sorry, what is the first of this element list? 2. What is the last? 77. Is 2 greater than 77? No.
No.
Length of list is 3. So this also
Yes.
falls. Now again, you have to update L. Now what is L? If you remove first and last element, just 96.
96.
So first and last of this element of this list is only 96. Right?
Yes.
One element means that's the first, that's the last. So what is the first of L? 96. Is 96 less than 2? No.
No.
So minimum remains what? 2.
2.
Is 96 greater than max?
Yes.
That is 77.
Yes.
Yes. So max is now updated to 96.
96.
Again, you have to call this procedure. So this is, I think, the last call. So
Yes.
get special. Now what is the parameter? Tell me. What is minimum? 2.
96.
If I do a rest of L here,
Yes.
if I do a rest, that means it will remove the only element. So list becomes empty.
Yes.
Here, this rest of L will now give nothing. So I just have to take the max element after this. What is the max element at this point? 96.
96.
So this is the argument or parameter now. First, what is minimum? First of L, 2. What is maximum? Last of L, 96.
96.
Is 2 greater than 96?
No.
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 No. So nothing will
Minimum.
happen. Is length of list 2? Yes.
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 So I will return minimum and
Minimum
maximum.
and
So what will be returned? 2, 96. So
yes.
here the first element is the minimum element, second element is the maximum element. This is clear for everyone how this
Yes.
happens.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Now
ma'am.
tell me
Yes, ma'am.
this part, why is it relevant? Because this was never true. Then why was this relevant?
Ma'am, it can be that first element of the list can be bigger than last element of the list.
See, let's take a small example. Let's say this list only, like this L. Okay. When I'm calling the procedure, let's say I am just passing this list as my argument 96. So what will happen? Minimum will be what?
96.
96.
Greater than
And maximum will be 2.
2.
Okay. Now I come to this if. Is 96 greater than 2? Yes.
Yes.
So now minimum will be updated last of L, that is 2, and maximum will be updated to first of L, that is 96.
96.
Then you come here. Is the length 2? Yes. So now you return min max, which is again 296. This is relevant because it is clearly mentioned in the question that the second element is the maximum and the first element is the minimum. So we have to maintain that. So if the list you are passing initially is only having 2 elements, then we have to make sure that those 2 elements are in its correct position. Right? That's why these lines are important.
Ma'am, but like how it is minimum equals last till and maximum equals first till?
See, first of all, you are first assigning minimum to first of all in this line and assigning maximum to last of all. So in this list, first is 96, last is 2. But in our question, it is given that this procedure should return a list of 2 elements where the first element is the smallest and second element is the largest. So in a list containing 2 elements, if they're in wrong position, we just have to swap their positions. So that swapping is done here. If we see that the first element is greater than the last element in a 2 element list, then we just have to swap their position. So now minimum is last, maximum is first. See, if this was the list you are passing in the, if 3 and 10, that is what you are passing as argument, then minimum is first set to 3, maximum is set to 10. So is 3 greater than 10? No. So nothing needs to be done. Length is 2, you just return it. But if this same list was passed in the reverse order, 10, 3, then if you return it like this, then it is wrong, no? Because first element is maximum. We need first element to be minimum. So that swapping will happen here.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
But line 14, it is also assigning to minimum. If
Line 14 is, see, when will you reach line 14? When there are more than 2 elements.
Yeah.
Okay, this part will only happen when the list is having 2 elements. Only then you are going to
okay.
come to this part.
12 is as position, right?
Or it can happen, one more thing can happen is that, let's say, if I have a list, in this list only, let's just swap this position, 34, 77, 14, 2, 96, and 21. In this case also, this part will come. Why?
Yeah,
because first is 34, last is 21.
Yes, ma'am.
So
This is
going
what
to
I said
change
earlier.
the minimum and maximum. Yeah. This thing will also come into play when this happens.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, this is just to swap so that the minimum and maximum are at the correct position. Like we always want minimum to have the smaller one. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So is this code clear, everyone?
Yes, it is.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. By seeing this code, ma'am, we can directly neglect option B and D.
Exactly. So this, see, here is a small typo. It should be in it. Okay. One more typo is here. I think this parenthesis is missing here. Okay. So option A is the answer. You can check for option B, C, and D and check out what is going wrong. Okay, it's very easy. Just try it once. But option A will be the correct option.
Yes, ma'am. In B, we are eliminating last element.
Yeah.
From
See,
the list.
in B, instead of taking the first element out, you're taking the last element out. It will not work.
Yes, ma'am.
Again, here you are taking 2 elements out of the list. So some of the elements will not even come into comparison. So what if you take out the minimum or the maximum element? You are never going to compare those.
Yes.
So this is going to give wrong. Again, here you're taking first element out.
Yes.
Sorry, you are just taking the first element. So here you are actually rejecting
First
most of
is
the list.
also
We will not compare
All the
remaining all
elements
the
of the
elements.
list. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So after the first iteration only, you are just taking 3 elements. Right.
Yes,
Like
ma'am.
in the second call, if my list that I passed as argument had 10 elements, in the second call of or the recursive call of get special, you will have 3 elements left.
Yes.
So you discarded 7. These are not going to work. Okay. So next question, should I go? Any more doubts here?
No. Go ahead.
See, this much calculation you have to do for 5 marks. And this is actually very simple once you get into the flow of things. So just take an example. If this type of question comes, take a small list as an example. Don't even take this many elements. Take 3 or 4 elements. That is enough. Okay.
So, ma'am, whenever we are reducing the number of elements, then we say that it is recursive.
No,
See,
no, no.
recursive call is when you call a procedure within itself.
recursion.
Okay, this is a recursive call. This return statement is in line 19, right?
Yeah.
Which is again inside the get special procedure only. So inside a procedure, you're calling the same procedure. This is a recursive call.
And after each repetition, the number of elements we are dropping them, right? Okay.
Now someone asked, when will the recursive call end? The recursive call will end when you reach the return statement. Okay. So once I return a statement, you know that nothing more will happen after that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So when this list returns the correct minimum and maximum, no more recursive calls will be there. Now question 5. This is a good question. See, X and Y are 2 rows in library table. Now we call X and Y to be compatible if only the books in rows X and Y are either published in the same year or under the same genre, but not both. Now this part is very important here, but not both. Because I have seen students make this mistake that they completely ignore this statement. They're just checking whether they're published in same year or under same genre. And even if they're like both of these conditions are true, then also they're taking true. That's not right. Both of them can't be true. Only one can be true at a time. Okay. So be very careful while reading the question. Then let compatible XY be a procedure to find whether X and Y are compatible. So 2 books X and Y will be compatible only when they are either published in same year or under the same genre, but both should not be true. Clear? Problem statement. Now, this type of question you have to eliminate by option only. So first option, see, procedure compatible XY. A is initially false, B is also false. Now they're comparing the years. If X and Y are both in the same year, then A is set to true. Again, if the genre are same, then B is set to true. And it's saying if A and B, that is, if this whole thing is true, then I will return true. So if both of the conditions are true, then also it is returning true. This is a violation.
False.
Yes, ma'am.
It should return false. Like for both true, it should not return true. Only one of the conditions should be true at a time. Right? So first option is wrong. Second option is A and B are again set to false. Up to this, everything is same. If here is same, A is set to true. If genre is same, B is set to true. It is saying A or B. So here also this can happen, true or true.
Yes.
Yes.
For that also it
This is
will
also
return
false.
true.
Yes.
This is also false. Now this is the option most people will take. Okay, so be careful. Next, C is what? A and B are false. Up to this, everything is same. Then it is saying if A and B,
is correct, ma'am.
see, A and B equal to false. This is what? This entire thing has a true or false value. Okay, see, if A is true and B is false. Okay, let's write the possibilities. If A is true, B is false. So A and B will give what? False. False equal to false will give what? True.
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 So this whole statement will be true. Or A or B. So if A is true, B is false, one of them is true means whole thing is true. For or, then again true or true. So this is returning true. Now this is a thing that we want, that one of the conditions are true. What if both the conditions are true? A
But
is
still
also
won't.
true, B is also true. Then A and B is also true. But true equals to false is false. Right? So this whole thing will give false.
It has to be
Yes.
AND, ma'am.
Yeah.
It's a OR statement, so it will
It is
It
be at
will
the
also
same.
return
be
true.
also
true.
true.
For
So
true, true
this
also it will give true.
Like false and
Yes.
equals to false.
Yeah. If there is and instead of or, it will
see. So if
it will be
both
right.
of them are true, then this part is fine. It is giving false, but this part will give what? True.
True.
And true or false is true. So
Yes.
this option is
Yes.
also wrong. A lot of people will get stuck here also. Now check the
Ma'am,
last
option
option.
C, no.
Yeah, this is wrong.
How, ma'am? Because
Because see, if both of these conditions are true, A is true, B is true, then true and true is true. And
yes, ma'am.
true equals to false is false. But there is an or here. And there is an or
Or
here. So false or true will give true.
Yeah, true is not
yes.
false.
So even if both conditions are true, then also it is giving true, which is wrong. So come to last option, this has to be the answer. So if you're smart, you are not going to check it. Anyway, so A is false, B is false. Again, everything same up to here. Now this is the exact same thing, just I have changed or with and. So in that case, if A is true and B is also true, that is both conditions are true. This is the only case that you need to check. Okay.
Yeah.
See, if A and B are true, then A and B true equals to false is giving what? False. So this whole thing will give what? False.
A is true, B is
And
false.
A or B. This is what? True or true is true. But
Yes.
false and true is false.
Because B is also
Right.
false.
Yes, ma'am.
So for this condition, it will not return true. For any other condition, let's see if both are false. Right. If both are false, then also it should not return true. So if A is false, B is false. Right. We have to check what? That one of them is true. Only then it should return true. What if both are false? Then false and false is false. And false equal to false is true. So this part will give true then. But false or false is what? False.
Yes.
So A or B will give false. So true and false will
What
again give
A
false.
or B what?
See, if A and B are both false, okay, both of these are false. That is, none of the conditions are satisfied. Then this part will give what? A and B
False.
equal to false. Means false,
False.
and false is false. False equal to false is true. But this part will give what? A or B.
False.
False or false is always false.
Yes.
And true and false is false. So for this also, if both the conditions are not satisfied, it will not return true. Now if A is true and B is false, or even the other way around, if A is false, B is true, same thing will happen. A and B will give what? False.
False.
False equal to false will give what? True.
True.
This is a true statement. And A or B is giving what? If any of them is true means or gives true.
Yes.
So true and true is true.
Yes.
So in that case, it will return true. Even if you exchange this, that is A is false, B is true, same thing will happen. So option D is correct. This may look like an easy question, but lot of chances to make mistakes here. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
See, many people will make mistake in this comparison only. A and B, and then again you have to compare whether that statement is false. Only this will give true when false equals to false. Right?
Yeah, it is a complex
Yeah.
A or B
comparison.
is equals to.
You just have to be a little mindful, that's all.
Yes, ma'am.
So this question is clear, everyone?
Ma'am, in
But
option
option
3,
A and option D are quite similar.
Yeah, quite similar. What is the only difference is that there is an and, there is an or here.
ma'am, in option 3, what I'm saying is that in the second condition, A or B instead of A, and can we put A and B?
If you put
What
A and B here, then what
yeah,
will happen?
yeah,
See,
what
if
will
I
be the
put an
result?
and here
Yeah.
instead of or, if I put an and here, and this is the condition, A and B are both true. Okay.
What
Yes.
Then also it will give true. Same thing.
Oh, okay.
True and true. For that case, it will give true. But if
Okay.
both are
If A
false,
or B is equals to true.
yes, if A, B both are true, then it is giving the violation. It's
Okay,
returning true.
I understand.
Okay. You have to check for every condition. So next, this one. Again, scores dataset. What does L store? Everyone understood the last one, right? Any other doubts?
No, ma'am.
Ma'am.
So what does L store at the end of execution? Now again, this type of question, I tell you, this is easy. You just have to decode it. Okay, this is not from weeks 1 to 6, but we'll solve this. Okay, D is a dictionary. L is a list. So while table 1 has more rows, read the first row in table 1. If is key checks what? Whether something is a key of a dictionary or not, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the scores data set. So what does the card contain? Sequence number, student name, student town, date of birth, marks, all of these things, right?
Yes.
So it is checking whether the first card that I picked, let's say the card X that I first picked, is from a student in Kolkata. So it is checking whether Kolkata is a key of this dictionary D. So for initial iteration, first iteration, D is empty. So D doesn't have any keys, right? So this fifth line will be wrong. We will not enter the if block. Where will we go? Where does this if block end? Here. So go to the else part and create a key value pair for that city, right? So D Kolkata. Now Kolkata is what? Kolkata is now a key of dictionary D. And what is the value? The gender of that card. Okay. So let's say this card belongs to a girl. So let's say this card belongs to female. So at this point, D has D Kolkata female. Okay. Now once you have read a card, you are moving into table 2 so that we don't read a card twice. Now again go back to the next iteration. Don't come to this line. We are not done with the while loop. Okay, pick the next card. Let's say this card is from another student who is from again Kolkata. But the card is for a male student. So what will happen if is key D town city? So the key exists, that is Kolkata is a key of dictionary D. So you will come to the nested if. If not member is what? We check whether something is a member of a list or not. Just like is key is in dictionary, not member is in list, right? So we are checking is member of list or not. Is key is for checking whether something is a key of a dictionary. Not member is a function that checks whether an element is present in a list or not. Okay. So what are we checking? That we are checking whether the gender of this card, that is male, is present in this list of values for D Kolkata. So what is the value for this key Kolkata? This list containing female. So does this contain male?
No.
So male is not a member of this list. So this whole thing will return what? True. See, we are checking not member. That means this will return true, right? It will return false if it was a member.
Yes.
If this card was a female's card, then it will return false. But since it's a male's card, so not member, so returns true, we will come to this block. And we will append this gender to that list. So now D Kolkata will have female as well as male, both of these. So what is the key value pair for D dictionary? Every key value pair is a city name and
gender.
It can be male, female, or if there is just one student from a city.
List of genders.
Right. So maximum how many elements will be in that list?
1.
2.
Maximum.
Two.
Two, right? Two distinct genders are there.
Yes.
Minimum how many?
1.
Minimum is when, like from one city, only one student is present, and let's say that student is a male. Then only it will have M. Now this can also happen that from a city there are only male students.
Only boys.
Then also it will have only one value in that list, M.
Yes.
Okay. But even if there is at least one boy or at least one girl, then it will have both F and M. Right? That means it will have two list elements for that city. Yeah. Now it is saying after all the iterations are done, what will dictionary D look like? It will be having city names, distinct city names as key. And for each of those cities, there will be, the value will be a list of elements which is containing the genders. from that city, right?
Yes.
So next you will come to this for each block after all the iterations are done. So now for each I, yeah, tell me.
We are not appending all the genders. We are only
There are only
making,
two genders, na?
yeah, we
If
are
we
Distinct
have
value.
two cities, then
we are making pairs, right?
See, if from Kolkata I have 3 cards, okay, first card is female, so
Yes.
I entered that here. Now second card is male, so I appended that. Let's say third card is also male. So when you come here, not member, and you check, so you will already have male as a member in this list, na? So nothing more will be appended.
Yeah.
If you have already 2 distinct genders in that list, nothing more will be appended.
Okay.
Okay. So after this whole thing is done, what are the keys of the distinct city names? Correct? Distinct town city name. So for each of those town cities, we will check whether the value, that is the list for that town city, has more than one element. That is, length of the list is greater than 1. That means what? At least one boy and at least one girl is present from that city, right? That's why it has 2 distinct genders in the list. That's why greater than 1 element.
Yes.
So this if condition will only be true when
And
from that city at least one boy and at least one girl are present, right?
yes,
Yes.
ma'am. When we have 2 elements in the list.
Then we will append that city
In
into
the
this L list.
yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is the question asking? What is L storing at the end of
Ma'am,
execution?
why can it not be exactly one boy and exactly one girl?
Yeah, I said
At least means the exact also,
at,
right?
at least will
what is the
include
I in the
exactly.
dictionary?
I is what? Keys of D. Keys of D are what? Distinct city town names.
Kolkata.
At least means greater than equals to 1.
At least means greater than. At least means, see, if I say at least 2, that means it should be 2 or greater than 2.
Yes.
Okay. So keys of D is what? Distinct town city names. Okay. So L will contain what? From here, what can we say about L? L is a list of
Ma'am,
those
list of
cities which have at least one boy and at least one
least
girl
one girl.
from them.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
So
right.
check the options now. List of cities that have at
B.
least one boy, at least one girl. This one.
Option B.
Okay. So this option is what? It is wrong. It is included in B. Okay. So all the cities that have exactly one boy and exactly one girl are also included in this option only. Okay. Is this clear for everyone? Any question from here?
Ma'am, I
Ma'am,
have an
No, ma'am.
ma'am, if it would be the multiple choice question, then we can select
No, then
option
also
B.
this is wrong. No, this option is wrong. See, they're saying just for exactly. What if I have 2 boys, 2 girls? Then also it is correct. Not
And
for
if
exactly one boy.
ma'am, if it has one boy or one girl, it will also be true because it is using
Length would be one,
or
right? Length would
yeah,
be one. It will be just
Length
B
will
or
be
F.
one, no?
B
Exactly.
or F.
yeah. It
If
is
it would have been and, then it would
yeah.
be
This is
true.
what I'm saying.
So that and is only in B option. No? At least one boy, and at least one girl. Yeah. What are the doubts?
Okay, got it.
Tell me.
No, I got it. We are choosing B option because the D option is wrong. Had if in the D option it would have been
See,
and.
whatever D option is going to choose, that is going to be included in B option. Okay.
No,
if
I'm
I
saying.
chose,
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead.
see, if I chose option D, then this will be a list of such cities where there are only exactly one boy or exactly one girl. So this is what? This will give length of list as 1 because there is or.
No, I'm saying if it would have been an and in between.
If there was an and here, right?
Hmm.
Then what happens? Then list of that length of list will be 2. But it will not take those cities into account where there are more than one boys or more than one girls. But this is checking for all such cities where there are at least one boy, at least one girl. There can be more. Okay.
No, I don't understand because list L eventually contains 2 elements, right?
2 elements, but that can be for any number of boys and girls. As long as I have one boy and one girl, the list length will be 2. After that, I don't care how many boys or how many girls I have. Okay. As long as I have one from each gender, the list length will be 2 because the list will have 2 elements, 2 distinct genders. Understood?
I'm still not convinced.
See.
Option B, a subset of option B.
Okay, I'll tell you.
No, that I
actually,
understand, but
option B is not a subset of option B if we use OR. If we use AND, then it becomes a subset.
My doubt is, why can't we just choose exactly one boy and exactly one girl?
Because if a city has like 5 boys and 3 girls, it won't take it into consideration.
See, you are
It
saying,
just
yeah, exactly. So if there are more than one boy and one girl, so if see, you are saying that if there is exactly one boy, exactly one girl, then we will also get this list. Correct. But what if I have 2 boys and 2 girls? Then also this is the list we will get for Kolkata, right? Because genders are distinct.
Ma'am, in that case, ma'am, if the option if there was another option like a list of city that have at most 2 boys and at most 2 girls, that would be also correct, right?
See, you cannot say at most in this sense. What if the city has 3 boys, 3 girls? That city will also be counted in the list. No? See,
that
it
will
doesn't
be counted because list L has 2 elements, no? So the
No,
line
I
16
understand
will
where you're getting
Yeah, yeah.
confused. See, the thing is, this doesn't matter how many boys and how many girls are there, it does not matter. As long as there is one boy and one girl, as long as we have one of each gender, the list length will remain 2. After that, you can have any number of boys and girls.
So we're basically generalizing here. Okay, I got it.
So this is for at least one boy, at least one girl means list length will be 2. Okay.
It can be
After
true
that,
if
there can be any number of boys and any number of girls, we don't care. As long as there is one of each gender.
what I am saying is that
Okay.
it is if there is not distinct exactly the sentence is like list of cities that have exactly one boy and one girl.
Yeah, that's the answer. That have at least one boy, at least one girl, not exactly.
Ma'am,
Exactly will not take those cities into account which have more than one boys and one girl.
no, what I am saying is that, ma'am, in the fourth option there is and
Fourth option is wrong entirely because there is an or.
नो मैम व्हाट आई एम सेइंग मैं क्या कह रहा हूँ कि मैम यहाँ पे जो एंड के बाद एग्जैक्टली वन गर्ल है एग्जैक्टली वन बॉय एंड एग्जैक्टली वन गर्ल मैं कह रहा हूँ कि एग्जैक्टली वन बॉय एंड वन गर्ल एग्जैक्टली वन बॉय एंड वन गर्ल
So it will be the same thing, no? That is also wrong.
No, ma'am, it will
give the same result. See, the length of the list will remain 2. But that is not including all such cities that we are checking here. That is not going to give the entire list of cities. It will just give those cities where there is only one boy and one girl. What if a city has 5 boys and 5 girls? That list's length is also 2 because gender is 2 distinct 2 genders.
Oh, okay, I understand, ma'am.
So the girl who was asking, do you understand? Like, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. I understood now. Because it's asking for the list, I now understood. I was asking a reverse question. Yeah, I got it.
So as long as we have one of each gender, we don't care how many more we have. Okay,
yes,
because the
ma'am.
length of list will be 2. Okay. Any more
Thank you,
question
ma'am.
from this one? Yeah, no issue.
Ma'am, I asked this question at most one question because you said maximum is 2 and minimum is 1, right?
Maximum number of gender is 2, not maximum students.
No,
There are
maximum
2
number of
distinct
elements.
genders. No?
Maximum number of
See,
elements.
when I
in the
said
list.
maximum is 2 means that's its length of DI. This length will be maximum 2.
Yeah, got
Gender
it.
is
And
two,
minimum 1.
female and male.
Yeah. And if there are no students from a city, then list is 0. Having no elements.
Then it will the key will not be in the dictionary.
And there will be actually no such card, na? Because if there is a student only, then there is a city.
Yeah.
This is question 7. So I have solved all of these till now. I'll give you 2 minutes to check out this pseudocode on your own. Then I'll solve it. Okay. So everyone do this question. I'll give you now is 7:44. Solve till 7:46. Okay, then tell me the correct option. Then I'll solve.
And zoom out, please zoom out the line.
Yeah, okay. Can you read the pseudocode? First read it, then I'll give you the options. First read it.
Yeah, we can read. We are able to read it.
Take 2 minutes and read. You don't even need the options for this actually. You can just see it in the statement. What will first of di and minus last of di represent? This question is extremely important for interim. Anyone got the answer?
No, ma'am.
Take 1 more minute.
Difference between highest and lowest maths marks in a city. In a city.
Correct. Very good. Okay, now I'll solve. See. For those who couldn't do it, see. First, D is what? An empty dictionary. Okay. So while table 1 has more rows, read the first row X in table 1. So if this is from that same scores dataset, okay. So if is key, if the card that I pick first, this is the first card X that I picked, let's say again, city is Kolkata. If Kolkata is a key of D, so initially D is empty, so no keys are there. So what will I do? Will I enter this if? No. Where is this if ending? Here. So I'll go to the ends part, right?
No student there.
Yeah. So if there is no key for Kolkata initially, so I will create a key here. And what will be the value? The value will be just take the maths marks of that student and put it twice in a list. Okay. Let's say this student has scored 80 in math. So now the key looks like this. D of Kolkata and the value paired is 80, 80. Okay. Now, second time, let's say I pick another card, which is again of a student who is from Kolkata who has scored 90 in math. So now if is key D town city, this is true because Kolkata is already a key in dictionary D.
Yeah.
So I'll come to this if. First of D town city is less than the mathematics marks of current card. So what is first of D Kolkata? 80. What is current marks? 90.
90.
Is 80 less than 90?
Yes.
Yes. So which one am I updating? See, this one, the first element I'm updating. So now first element becomes 90 and second element becomes the last of D town city. That is this 80. It will remain 80. So at this point, Kolkata, D Kolkata is now updated to what? 90, 80. Clear?
Yeah.
Now if I get one more student from Kolkata who has scored, let's say, 16 math. So again, this if is true, Kolkata is a key. Is first of D town city. What is first of D town city at this point? 90.
90.
What is current maths mark? 60. Is 90 less than 60? No.
No.
So we don't need to enter this if. Come to the next if. What is last of D town city? 80.
80.
Is that greater than current marks? 60?
No.
Yes.
80
It
is
is
greater
greater.
than 60, no?
It is greater than.
So you will enter this if. Which one am I updating? See, second one.
Yeah.
And this one remains the same first. So what is D Kolkata now? 90, 60.
60.
So you see, every time I find a value that is greater than both in my current list or less than both, I will update. Right?
Standing order.
So the first element is going to have what? The highest marks. Right? Every time I find a greater mark, every time I find a greater mark, that is updated in the first element. And every time I find a lesser mark, that is updated in the last element. Right?
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Yes.
ma'am.
If you want, you can take a few more examples. Let's just take one more. If I get a card which has some student who is from
50.
Kolkata and has scored 100, then what will happen? First of D town city is what? 90. Is 90 less than 100? Yes.
Yes.
So you are going to update that value here,
90
and
to
this
100.
will still remain the same last. So now it is 100, 60. After this, if I pick a card where a student has scored 55 in maths, so 55 is not greater than 100. So this condition is false. But 55 is less than 60.
Yes.
So this condition is true. So again, you are going to update this element. So now it becomes what? 100, 55.
Yeah, maximum, minimum.
Right. So at the end of all the iterations, the D dictionary will represent what? What are first tell me what are the keys of D?
Ma'am, town city, ma'am.
Town city.
Kolkata.
Distinct town city.
Yes.
Kolkata is just one example. Okay, but what are the keys of D? Distinct town city. Kolkata, Pune, Delhi, whatever cards are there. Okay. And for each town city, what is the value stored?
Mathematics marks.
Mathematics math.
Highest and lowest maths mark
Lowest.
in a list. So if I find the difference between first of DI minus last of DI is basically difference between highest and lowest mark of maths from that city. Right? See, for a given key I. So I is what? A particular town city. For that city, I'm finding the difference between highest and lowest mathematics mark. So that option you just have to choose difference between highest and lowest maths marks of city I. A is the correct answer. Right? Not of the entire data set. Okay, we are checking by a particular city. So this question
Yes,
is clear?
ma'am. Yes.
Yes,
Very,
ma'am.
very important
Yes,
for
ma'am.
NTERM.
Okay. Ma'am, if last of DI minus first of DI is equal to is the same as difference.
If you take the absolute value, it is just the difference only. Okay. But
The same.
since here absolute value is not mentioned, so we cannot take that, like negative value will come. If negative value comes, then we will mention in such questions that we are taking the absolute value. Here, since we know that the first element is the highest element. Okay. And the last element is the lowest element. So the difference will always be a positive value. There is one such question I will take, which is on absolute value. Yeah.
What if we have two cities?
Ma'am,
Then?
these are the questions, ma'am, easily solvable, ma'am. The tougher question is, ma'am, when we have to choose pseudocode, ma'am.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said.
Four
That
options.
this type of questions, you just have to decode. The entire code is given to you.
Yes.
These don't even take much time, but the
Yeah,
that
also
you
like
have to.
when they ask for finding like the mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, that finding mistakes is a important category for your exam. Like you have to find the mistake in the code.
Yeah, they are little confusing.
Just practice some PYQs. Okay. If you have any issue, post on it first.
What if we have two different cities or more than one city?
Yeah, ma'am. Repeated. What if we have two cities? Then what we have to do?
Just tell me the question clearly. What if there are two cities? What?
What if next card is something other than Kolkata? Will we create a new key and
Then you will create a new key, and that card's maths marks you will put as the list. Let's say you
Okay,
pick a
thank
card
you,
for
ma'am.
Pune. Okay. Then D of Pune, and let's say that student has scored 17 maths. Then you just create this key value pair
Is Pune
initially.
in the dictionary?
Yes, Pune is the key for a dictionary. Every unique town city is a key for dictionary D.
Just we check is Pune in this dictionary or not?
Yeah, first you check that in this. If it is not a key, then you create the key, and whatever is the maths marks, you put that twice in a list.
Okay.
After this, whenever you get a card of a student who is again from Pune, then this comparison will come. Okay.
Invariably, the template of the key will remain the same.
Yeah, exactly. Now see if from let's say Mumbai only one student is there, then this will be the only key value pair. No other comparisons will be there for Mumbai. Right? If only one student is there, no other card will come from Mumbai. So no comparison. Okay, now this one. The following pseudocode is executed using shopping bills. So first read this entire pseudocode, then we will do question 8 and 9 based on it. I will do the first 11 questions from this mock. Okay. Next 11, even in this also, a lot of the questions are out of weeks 1 to 6, but I'm still taking them. So next 11 or 10 questions will be there, which will be discussed tomorrow. Okay. Those are based on graphs and matrices. See. Item
Zoom
D
out.
is a dictionary.
Can you zoom out the page?
Yeah. Item D is a dictionary, cause D is a dictionary. Now, while pile 1 has more cards, read the top card X in pile 1. This is which data set shopping list. Okay. So you read one card, then in this item D dictionary, this is a dictionary, right? In this dictionary, you are calling this update dictionary procedure. And what are you passing as the argument? Item D itself and X. That is the card that you just picked from shopping bills data set. So let's see what is update dictionary doing. Let me zoom in a little. This is the procedure update dictionary. So it takes into parameter a dictionary and a card. So first it is checking whatever is the card's shop name. Say the card is from Big Bazaar. So initially item D dictionary is what? Item D we are passing as parameter. Item D is empty, right? So no keys are there. So let's say the first card I picked is from Big Bazaar. So it is definitely not going to be a key of D. So I have to create a key, right? So if not is key, not is key will give true if it is not a key, right? So you will create a card, create a key value pair for that particular shop. And what is the value going to be like? It's going to be another empty dictionary. So in item D dictionary, just tell me, in item D dictionary, what are the key value pairs going to look like?
It is a nested dictionary.
It is a nested dictionary. So all the unique shop names are the outer dictionary keys. And for each shop name, there is an inner dictionary.
Yes.
Right. So shop 1, shop 2. These are the outer dictionary keys, and each of them have a value that is a dictionary itself. So what is this inner dictionary containing? Now we'll see. For each A in item list. So in this card, whatever items that person has purchased, all those items are now in the form of a list. Like one of those questions we did before. So if is key dy shop name A dot item. That means what? Each of these inner dictionaries are basically having what as keys? Unique items as keys, right? So if an item is not yet a key, let's say for Big Bazaar. Okay, this shop 1 is, let's say, Big Bazaar. And I have now created an item list for that card. But initially it is empty. So there are no keys. So I have to create a key. So the first item, A dot item, I'm going to create a key like this. So dy dot shop name, A dot item. What is the value? I'm sorry, this is not the creation. This is the creation.
This would be the else block.
Yeah, it will be in the else block. Since it is key. So this will give true only when item is already a key. If it is not a key, then you come to else part and create the key. So for that item, I'm creating a key in the inner dictionary, and the cost of the item is the value. Okay. So if milk is that item, and let's say price is 50, so M is to 50. This is the key value pair. Again, I might have bought eggs. For that, you have to make a separate key and the price of eggs. Now, one item might be bought multiple times, right? So maybe a person has bought eggs 2 times. So in that case, what will happen? Next time when that same egg, this item comes here. So it is already a key now, right? So you will just add the cost. Okay. So let's say for Big Bazaar, a person has bought milk 1 time with cost rupees 50, then egg cost rupees 30, then again egg is there, cost rupees, let's say 40 or something. Okay, 30 also you can say. So every time you encounter this egg, it is now a key of the inner dictionary. You are just going to update the value of that key. Just keep on adding the cost. Okay. Yeah. So first it was 30, then maybe it was again 30. So 30 plus 30, 60. Like this, it will just keep on updating the value. So what is the inner dictionary looking like? All distinct elements with the total cost for each element. For each item, I'm taking the total cost as the value, right? But the
Yeah,
items
right.
itself are distinct. So this is
Because
your
item
item,
is the key and the total cost is the value, right?
right, for the inner dictionary. So this is your item D dictionary. Okay. After this whole thing is done, it will return item D. This D it is returning, D is just written in general. You are passing item D. So item D will be returned as a nested dictionary. Okay. Again, tell me what are the outer dictionary keys?
The shop
names. Distinct shop names.
Shop names.
And for each shop, each distinct shop, what are the inner dictionary keys?
The items.
Items.
Distinct
the
item
cost.
name.
Item.
Distinct item names. And what are the values for those distinct item names? Total cost.
Total price.
Total cost.
Total cost.
Good. Good. Okay. Now see, come to this for each block. Okay. So for I in keys of item D, that means distinct shop names, right? B is 0. Items is an empty list. So for each J in keys of item DI, so let's say the first I is for Big Bazaar. B is initialized to 0, items is an empty list. Now for each J in keys of item D Big Bazaar, that means unique items bought from Big Bazaar. Right? We'll go through all those items. If the cost is equal to B, then we will append it to the items list, this empty list. But tell me one thing, B is 0 initially. So for every item, there is some cost, right? So for the first item that I picked from Big Bazaar, let's say milk. Milk had a cost of 50. So is 50 equal to 0? No.
No.
So I will come to this. Is 50 greater than 0? Yes.
Yes.
So B will now contain the updated value. That is, B is now 50. And items, this empty list, is now containing J. What is J?
Milk.
Milk. Very good. So J is, it will be in the form of a list. Okay. J is milk. Now let's say second J is egg. So if item D IJ, that is item D Big Bazaar egg, is equal to 50. Let's say egg is 60 rupees total cost. So it is again not equal to 50, right? So you will come here.
Yes.
So the item cost 60 is greater than 50. Yes. Again, you have to update B. Now B is what? 60.
60.
And item is what?
Egg.
Egg.
Item is now egg. Now let's say next item that I have picked from Big Bazaar is pens, which also has cost 60. Okay. So J is now what? What is J? Pens. So item D, Big Bazaar, pens, is equal to B. So is 60 equal to 60? Yes.
Yes.
So you are going to append pens to the items list. So now item list looks like X, comma, pens.
Pens.
Okay. So what happens if in a particular shop, the maximum price belongs to two distinct items? Both of those items will be in the list, items list.
Yes.
If there are three
Yes,
distinct
ma'am.
items, if there are n distinct items which have the highest cost, then all of them will be in the list.
Yeah.
That is why this append. But let's say you found both eggs and pens. Okay, fine. Both of them are in this list. Now the last element from Big Bazaar, let's say, is let's say fruits. Okay. And that has 100 cost. Then what will happen? Item Dij, that is Big Bazaar fruits, is it equal to 60?
No.
B's
No.
value is
No.
currently 60. No. So I have to come to this step. So is 100 greater than 60? Yes.
Yes.
B is again updated. B is now what? 100.
Fruits.
And this entire list will be scrapped. It will now be what? Just fruits.
Hmm.
So what is items list storing? What is this list storing? For each shop.
Items which have the highest revenue.
Items which have the highest
I
revenue
think
from a
so.
particular shop. Right? From a particular shop.
Yes.
So this is the entire pseudocode. Is it clear what it is doing?
So, ma'am, we will remove all the elements, including milk and egg as well.
Yes.
We'll just keep
Every
food.
time in a particular shop, you find an element that is generating
Yeah, we
higher
are just
revenue than
assigning
all.
that.
Yeah, that has higher revenue than all the elements we have seen so far. So you can scrap all of them and just put that element.
Yeah,
Okay.
got it.
And in the end, in this line, what is happening? Cost of DI is equal to item. What is cost D? See, in the beginning, we created this empty dictionary. So after this whole thing is done, okay, then
Only a list
cost of
will
DI
change.
is what? I is what? Big Bazaar. First, we were checking for Big Bazaar, right?
Yes,
One
ma'am.
by one, the shops we are going. So for Big Bazaar, after this entire thing is done, that is, we have gone through all the items in the item list. Then for cost DI, that is cost Big Bazaar, we are going to have this items list as the value. Understood? Cost D dictionary, then
Yes,
what are the keys of cost D dictionary? What are the keys? Same, distinct shop
Distinct
names.
shop names.
Different shop names.
Different
And what are the values?
Items.
Maximum cost
Name of the
items.
items.
Maximum cost items. From
In the form of
Yeah,
a list.
maximum cost.
Yeah.
Which
Not
have
actually
highest
cost.
revenue generated.
Not the
Revenue
cost.
actually.
Not the cost, the item name actually. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
The name of the item with the highest revenue. There can be more than one item.
Yeah.
Okay. And they will be in the form of a list. So in cost D dictionary, the key value pair is like key is to list.
Ma'am, why are we taking into consideration the revenue? Why not the like the cost only? Because we were finding that only
Cost?
since start.
Total
cost revenue, same thing. No? So revenue
No,
is like the
no.
total cost.
No, actually,
No.
revenue is like if you sell an
Yeah,
item
it's
2-3
like
times,
profit.
so it will add
see,
it.
cost is basically like how many times that item is coming. So cost of one item into that many times.
That will be revenue.
That is the total revenue generated because of that item.
Yes.
That you have to take into account. So if an
Can
item is
you
purchased
please-
more than one time, then the
The
total
cost will be
revenue you have
added.
to collect. Yeah, the costs will be added that many times. So that is the
no.
item generating the highest revenue.
You said like multiplied, like I don't understand that. Can you like
Same thing,
repeat
na,
that
see,
sentence?
if eggs has 60 cost per unit, let's say,
Yeah,
and a person has purchased 3 such units. So 3 into 60,
Acha,
or you
yeah,
can
yeah,
do
got
60
it.
plus 60 plus 60. This thing.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. So cost D dictionary will have a key value pair that will be keys will be distinct shop names and value will be a list of the items generating the highest revenue from that shop. Right? So this pseudocode is clear.
Yes,
Entire
ma'am.
thing. Now let's go to the question. What will item Dij represent? Items dictionary. That is this one that we created. So what is item Dij? See, this thing that we are checking. What is this? Item Dij?
Revenue by item J of shop I.
Revenue
option A, ma'am.
generated by
Item J for shop
for
I.
shop I. So first one, not cost. Cost is single item's price as a single,
single
but that
item.
item might have come more than
Revenue
one
is
time.
total.
Revenue is the total, exactly. So option A. Question 9 is also part of this only. What is cost DI representing? List of items which generated the highest revenue for shop I.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Right. So both option A. So question 8 and 9, any question from here? Or is it clear for everyone? Everyone tell me, even if
Yes,
one
ma'am.
person have a doubt.
Clear, ma'am.
Let's do question 10 and 11 also. See, 10 and 11 are also based on the same, only one pseudocode. Okay. This is actually, I think, a matrix question. Okay, fine. I'll do one matrix question. Do you have a class after this?
Yes, we have a maths class right
Yes,
now.
ma'am.
Okay, then I will not do it. Okay. So anyways, matrix and graphs are going to be discussed in tomorrow's class. So you ask Piyush sir to start from question 10. Okay. I'll let him know, but you also tell him one. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for the
ma'am.
session.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
you,
All the
ma'am.
best, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Thank you. Yeah.
can I get the answer for 2 and 6 questions?
Questions 2 and 6. Let me check. Did you understand 2 and 6 or are you just going to put the answers? First tell me that, otherwise I won't give the
Oh, no,
answer.
no, no, sir, no, ma'am. I already figured.
Understood, right?
Yeah. The second
Okay.
option I chose.
See, this
With the
question 2 is option B, number of fictional books written in other than English.
Yes, ma'am. That's what I chose. And question 6, I answered as option 2, list of cities that have at least one boy and one girl.
Yeah, correct. It will be option 2.
Okay. Yeah, just want to confirm.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Thank you.
I have a doubt regarding the mark, because my mark 1 is not, it stays still evaluation is pending, whereas unfortunately mark 2 I couldn't finish on time. But why is it? Because for mark 2 they have given the grades and so on in the grades column, whereas in mark 1 I see it's still pending.
Evaluation wise, I won't be able to help you. You can ask that in tomorrow's session. Okay, Piyush will be able to help.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. So you can leave if there are no other questions. You can leave.
Ma'am, one more question. Your mock exam marks considered along with the grades?
So mock is not mandatory, right? I don't think mock is
Yeah, that's
mandatory.
what is the confusion, because they say that in the mock end term, all the mocks are saying that it's I mean, you have a deadline and it will be considered for grading. So whereas in the what you call the computational thing, the student document, they only consider the graded assignment and this thing, the Q1 and Q2 and all this thing.
Yeah.
Whereas mock
So
is not in.
did they give you any like exclusive announcement that mock scores are considered for grading?
We will
Yeah,
cover week
I mean, on
7
the
to
top
week
they have given, on
tomorrow.
the top of the exercise they have given it.
I don't think, because if it was for grading, then we won't be able to discuss it today, no? Because the deadline is still open. No graded assignments are discussed before the deadline. I don't think it's considered.
End term mark, there is a due
Yeah,
date.
already. Okay, I mean,
Yeah,
in term
it is
2
today.
have come.
And it is
As far
saying
as I know,
considered.
mock is not considered, but still, okay, let me ask few sir once to confirm.
Because
I'll let
ma'am,
you know.
even the this mock alone, it was posted a very a long
We
time
cover
before.
week 7 to week 12
And
tomorrow.
then they have given told that you can submit it n number of times, but the previous mocks it was not like that.
Okay, so
like when we
mock,
started that the timer started, so we had to complete it by within 1 hour. But this was posted, I think 2-3 days back itself, and I don't think this will be taken
I
for
don't think
consideration
it's
for
for
grading.
grading. No, it's
No,
like I am pretty certain it's not for grading.
Yeah, because I was
Will
wondering
we
whether
cover
this
week
mock
7
will
to
be.
12 tomorrow?
Yeah, 7 to 12 will be covered tomorrow.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
So rest of the mock questions also.
Okay, so
Ma'am, and tomorrow, you will be taking or?
No, Piyush sir will be taking.
Okay.
And when it comes for the final weightage, only the graded assignment 1 to 11 is taken into consideration, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else?
And is this?
Thank
I
you,
mean, CT is compulsory for the Python for the next semester, right?
Right. Yes, sir.
Okay. Because I have a situation. I mean, I don't know because whether it's a recording. I have a situation that whether I will be able to attend the end-term exam because of personal reasons. So I was wondering, like, if I couldn't take up take the exam, the end term, will I still be able to take the Python course next semester?
I don't think so. No, NTEM is mandatory. Like CT, you have to qualify NTEM.
Okay, because
But
okay, so
if
I
there
have to
is
write.
any way, so I don't know. I don't think there is any such way because CT is a prerequisite for Python. So still,
Yeah.
you can do one thing. You ask sir once tomorrow if there is anything that can be done. If you have
Because
like
they
a
say that
valid
for
reason.
and because they say in the grading thing document saying that if somebody who doesn't clear the end term or could not write the thing, there is some what is they use a term where in which we can only take the end term examination, not the full course, in the next semester.
Yeah. That is a
But
provision for that.
but along with that, we can also take the 4 courses for the next semester. I mean, 3 courses put together. I mean, as you know, there are only maximum possibility if only 4 courses per semester. So they say this other 3 courses can be taken. This plus 4, I think this plus 4, I think the previous term exam, last final exam,
See,
plus
as far as
the
I
whole
know
course.
that if
That's
you
what.
have not, as far as I know, if you have not completed CT, if you have not passed the NTEM for CT, you cannot take Python. Okay, but still do one thing, just ask sir once that if you are not able to sit for NTEM, is there any way you can just, I think you can give just the NTEM next term, but I don't think you can take Python before that. Not sure, but just
Because
ask sir once.
I still, because the doubt is I was reading, going through the document in the thing for some reason, and there was a saying that I
Yeah,
kind
you
of
don't
vaguely
have
remember
to,
that it's still
you don't
possible
have to
to
do
take.
the entire course. You can just give the NTEM, but it is mandatory before you take Python.
Yeah.
Okay, still ask sir once if
Yeah.
there is anything
And
that can be done.
I can still take the
Yeah, the rest of
whole
the
course
courses.
if needed.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Hello, excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I'm facing some difficulty to understand the matrix and other steps in the week 11 and 12. Is the anytime questions are most probably based on the 11 and 12?
Which question?
I mean the week 10 and the week 11, which is based on the matrix related questions.
Yeah. So you are having issue in understanding those concepts.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what's the question?
I'm just asking for is there more weightage on week 10
Yeah.
and
See, I won't say more weightage, but there will be questions from those topics. See, even if you check out the mock, there are quite a few questions on graph and matrix. Even this 10 and 11 that I was starting, that is from matrix only. Okay, these are very important topics. You cannot leave them. So do one thing. First of all, tomorrow sir will be giving a brief idea about these topics again. But you go through the recorded lectures one more time. Okay. If you still can't understand, if you like try practicing some questions from PYQ. If you cannot solve them, you post, we will give you the solution. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so if there are no other questions, so I'm leaving the call. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.